what's helping me more and more is a scale, a ratio. Where am I between being a creator and a consumer? That's my scale. Oh yeah. I'm gonna start like this, Only recently have I been able to afford the gear that I really want, right? So more and more I'm at a place where I'm like, okay, I need this. What's the best one I can buy? Whether it's a mic, preamp, audio unit, software, And that's a very different place, because I ain't come from that place, okay? Like, studio, I had to catch 2 trains and a taxi in Cape Town. And if you know anything about public transport in South Africa, it's precarious. So I mean, whether it's raining or whatever, and then when you get to studio, you're on someone else's time. Maybe you can't make that much noise because their parents in the next room, and you trying to make your rap songs. You're just always kind of an inconvenience, or you're just having to squeeze in somewhere. Now the struggle and the challenge is different, B. Now it's, okay, I can get it. Do I need it? You know what I mean? And I feel like I know some of you know what I'm talking about. And just because you can get it doesn't mean you should. I don't think it's the winning mentality, Because when you get something new, and I'm going to talk specifically about music production, there's a learning curve that you never factor in. I've been using Reason 5 majority of my career. It's only the past 3 years that I've been using Ableton, and I've transitioned. But now I'm in a position where I have so many things, so many plugins, so many synths, from like Isotope to Native Instruments to Ableton Live, Reason, Machina, right? So many sounds that I probably will never hear. I probably will never get to experiment with. I'm gonna say it again. Creator, consumer scale. Where on that scale are you at any point in time? If I'm studying the equipment that I have, if I'm becoming more proficient at it, if I'm actually doing the hard work and not trying to get some plugin that's gonna make a quick fix, I'm actually going through it. That's me in my creator's corner. But if I'm researching products, if I'm looking at things, I'm checking reviews over and over again on the same product, or I'm looking for another VST because this one that I have frustrates me, how much of a consumer am I being? And the thing is that as a consumer, you're just a consumer. But as a creator, your scale and your potential for productivity, for profitability, for proficiency is exponential. So I'm very aware of that scale, and I'm always trying to measure myself to that. I'm just learning about GAS, which is Gear Acquisition Syndrome, which I think is hilarious. It's kind of our modern day struggle, with technology, with equipment, with gear, is that it's not so much lack of sounds, it's how do we manage it? How do we manage ourselves in it? A lot more of us are becoming creators. We have so many tools to help us create. And no one really tells you that, okay, yeah, you can get it, but now you're going to have to learn how to use it. Now you're going to have to be proficient in it. That's a different challenge. Because, I'm sure you do the same thing. You're looking at reviews. You're looking at what's the latest thing here. You're looking at this new thing you're trying to get, whether it's a gadget or a plugin or gear. And you're just going through it, and it's so much fun just going through that, and you're building the excitement. But I'm acting as a consumer at that point, especially when I have so many tools that I may not even know how to use, and I'm looking at tools that I haven't even got yet, that I want to get, that I don't need. And that's the thing that I feel we need to start teaching in schools, even, whether it's music production schools or film schools, is gear acquisition. It's a real thing. It's a real skill. There needs to be a filtering process. And I've learned that it's better to master one or two, because moving from Reason to Ableton, for me to become proficient in Ableton, has taken a long ass time. It takes time. Big one for me, and personally, Faceplant. Now, I got the demo of Faceplant, and I'm honestly, between you and me, I've been looking for a synth that I can really knuckle down and know it inside out. There's a couple synths that I like, but they're not like, you know what I mean? And some of them have been out for years. Like, I feel Massive and Serum are incredible synths, but I missed the boat on that. Like, I came into the game too late, or just wasn't in my world when I was producing, so I didn't get that foundation on it. Whereas Faceplant, I feel, is coming out at the right time, where I'm looking for a synth that I can really get my teeth in. But, and it's a big but, and I cannot lie, I don't need it though. You know what I mean? I have Reactor, I have Contact, I have Ableton. All of those synths in these programs are incredible and can do probably everything Faceplant can. I put a milestone on for me. I put a reward system on, so when I make my next client, my next sale, or get a new client, something's gonna push my business forward, then I'm gonna reward myself with Faceplant. Otherwise I'm just gonna buy it and I'm gonna have to learn another synth, and there isn't gonna be, it's gonna be something else that I have that I'm not applying myself to. Y'all feel me? And I would say, if you go to pro studios, guaranteed they're gonna have analog equipment and gear that they've had for years, or they're gonna have software that they've had for years. They don't have the latest updates. They're not trying to break what's working. How many updates and upgrades are actually that significant? You know what I mean? And oftentimes, especially in a professional environment, you want the tool to know that you know how to use. When you become professional, you want the tool like the back of your hand, because you got a deadline. You got somebody who's like, I want this now, and I want it amazing. And you can't be on a learning curve at that point. You need to be able to deliver. Yeah, it's an interesting point in my life, intersection that I find myself in. And I'd love to know, like, where you guys are, where you at with it. I know a lot of us still can't afford some things we want to get. Some of us can. We're learning how to use it. We're also having to manage and filter through. And how much of your equipment do you use? How much stuff do you get that you don't need, that you got hyped about? You know what I mean? Do you have a process of filtering? Do you have a checklist? Do you have a process of reward? It's so nice getting something new, something shiny, something exciting. It's great, but let me know where y'all at with it and what you think of this young scale. Power to you.